Hello guys, welcome to a screencast on sociocultural studies. Today's focus is going to be on organisational bodies within Great Britain or England that help us either fund or develop athletes. So basically then, key focus, we're going to look at three. Some of them work with kind of the lower end of the performance pyramid, e.g. participation, trying to raise participation foundation. Others work with the elite performers, so the Olympic athletes you will know and see on television. First body then, Sport England. Now Sport England is the key organisation that tries to increase participation. Specific example is Get Active campaign. It is responsible for distributing funding, but not to the elite athletes. So it's not giving it to, your Jessica Ennis's, your Mo Farah's. It's giving it to community sport. So it's giving it to kind of local councils in order to raise participation. Also, it targets priority groups. So priority groups are anyone that is not a white middle-class male. So it could be females, it could be elderly. So there's two examples. Elderly and women, they're the two I want you to use. That'll become apparent why when we get into the lesson tomorrow or when you have it next. The next one is protects community playing fields. So basically, as you all kind of know, anywhere you've lived, coming from, Worcester myself, the amount of fields that I've seen turned into either housing estates, supermarkets, whatever, they are hugely changed. So basically, one of the roles of Sport England is protect a certain amount of community playing fields that kind of help with this kind of legacy of London 2012. Key points, 4 of them. Your job is to write them into your call out notes. I will give you a way to remember them tomorrow. Next one is UK Sport. Now, UK Sport manages and develops elite sport. So this is the body, the organisation that controls Olympic athletes basically and develops them. So elite sport is your key focus. It manages or distributes national lottery funding. So the funding that I talked about earlier, you might think, well, hang on, you just said that for Sport England. The difference is national lottery funding now, this is given only to elite athletes, and it's done via something called the World Class Performance Plan. Okay, so that is why. So it's got a particular focus on world-class performers, and there is actually a funding scheme that is called the World-Class Performance Plan. Going on from there, UK Sport also promote ethical behaviour. What this means is they promote kind of drug-free athletes, and there's a specific campaign called 100% Me, and that basically means that every athlete who takes part in sport knows that they are 100% themselves. They have not have any artificial kind of supplementation that is illegal and that could help them, e.g. anabolic steroids. Also, UK Sport, as it's involved with elite sport and developing elite sport in athletes, they also are responsible for attracting major events, e.g. London 2012 Olympics. And the final thing, which is quite important here, is that you have they have something called, they manage the TAS. Now, TAS is for people your age, basically, and it stands for Talented Athlete Scholarship Scheme. And what it means, it basically refers to any talented athlete who is still in full-time education gets some kind of funding. So we had a canoeer or kayaker 2 years ago who was on the TAS program, which meant he got all his expenses, canoe expenses, travelling expenses, coaching expenses paid for via a little scholarship scheme called the Talented Athlete Scholarship Scheme. Some of you might have heard of it. You might know people. If you're a rower, you might have heard of people who've had it, and that is your kind of last role there. Key heading, UK Sport, call out notes, this is what happens. Then if you can try to kind of do a question that aligns it from there. The last one, and this is also associated with elite performers, is that if UK Sport develops elite performance, English Institute of Sport basically provide the practical plans and support. Plans and support is a key thing, and we're going to use this kind of support and plans as a key focus for a memory method. So what we're saying, practical plans, what plans and support do they give them? Well, they give them performance lifestyle advice. Okay, so what lifestyle should they lead? How much sleep should they have? When should they eat their food? What supplements can they take? So basically you have that. Then you have kind of the concept of performance analysis. So they will do sports science testing, okay, to see kind of what their VO2 max levels are. They will do body fat percentage. They will look at actually their kind of biomechanics maybe. They'll look at kind of their gait or their kind of stride length when performing, say, a hurdle. Also, they provide nutrition and psychological advice, so what to eat, when to eat it, how much carbohydrates to eat prior to a race, and also psychological, they might give them goal setting information. Finally, they provide sports science support, which is a kind of an amalgamation of quite a few of these. So, you're giving them stuff on heart rate zones they should be working in, recovery periods, how you recover, do you have kind of ice baths after. So lots of different sports science support that will be linked to kind of heart rate training zones or specific scientific data that allows people to perform. Your job, 3 organisational bodies involved in sport in England. Your job is to make sure you can identify the name of them, and I will go through tomorrow. You need to have all of these in your Cornell notes, and then we will have a focus on how you remember them and start to apply them. Okay, thank you.